In the headlines for the CBC NewsNight, police called in after another incident at a secondary school. Barbados urged to complete its educational accreditation process. A fourth shipment of local black belly sheep arrived in Guyana.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome to the CBC NewsNight. I'm Wendy Burke. Quick action by a student averted an escalation in violence at Dighton Griffith School when he relieved another student of a cutlass. According to the Ministry of Education, 2 students were involved in a situation resulting in one student being struck by the other. The ministry says the Barbados Police Service and parents of the students involved were called to the school. 2 education officers went to the institution and assisted with the necessary counseling for all involved. However, while thankful there was no major incident, General Secretary of the Barbados Union of Teachers, Herbert Gittins, says teachers are concerned about the increase of violence in schools.
Which we would really not want to see. We would just be calling on students to deal with matters differently when issues occur. There are teachers on the compound, we have the principal and the other members of the management team to seek advice and have these matters resolved amicably. Schools are really places of teaching and learning, and that is what we would hope that would happen at these schools on a daily basis.
As reports of the incident at Dighton Griffith circulated on social media, parents rushed to the school to ensure their children were safe. Some of them who stood outside the gates spoke with members of the media.
I ain't getting no communication from the school, as I said. I got from his godparents. But my husband got from the class teacher that the children in the class, the farm teacher. But that's still ain't telling me if my son heard what happened or what's going on. Communication with parents got to be better.
Very concerned because you ain't know what's going on. You ain't know if it's a weapon for you. You ain't know if something happened already. You ain't know nothing. Nobody in here to tell you nothing. I know get here, but I come here and I see people out here and nobody can tell me what's going on, but you just can't get your children. And I don't seem to think that's the right way. If you can't get your children, somebody should be here to tell me why and what's going on.
At the end of the day, I'm being realistic. The only reason we know about the level of violence is because of cell phones and social media. Because in our days of school, it was probably the same thing, if not worse, at the end of the day. But right now, there's social media, there's cell phones, there's so many ways of getting this for people to see.
In other education-related news, Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Kay McConney, wants a shift from the elitism and classism in the education system. She made it clear it will not serve Barbados well going forward.
When we perpetuate a culture of haves and have-nots, of the bright and the not so bright, in a way that we treat people within our system, both in and outside of the education system, though know that we all have to live with the consequences of those whom we choose to marginalize or leave behind. In an island that is this small, there are no they problems or you problems. There are only we problems.
Ms. McConney was at the time addressing the launch of Education Month at a church service at the Abundant Life Assembly. She is confident the presence of national student councils and student-led initiatives will have an impact in Barbadian schools. Ms. McConney says Barbados' education transformation continues.
Our education transformation is about how we lead schools and how we build them with resilience for the future of learning. Our education transformation is how we are supporting our educators, our teachers, our school leaders, our education officers, our school assistants.
Barbados needs to move with urgency to get its accreditation process for educational institutions completed. That's according to Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Sandra Husbands, who says getting this done is important for the country to fast-track its movement to the global economic space. She was addressing the opening of the accreditation workshop.
We have to have an accelerated process 2-3 years down the road, the world would have moved on. We got to find a way to shorten that process. But to do that, it means cooperation among all of the institutions. And I'm very pleased with the level of cooperation I've seen among our tertiary institutions. What we need to do now is to focus that cooperation on our accreditation process. You're going to need support. So I need you to come up with what is it you need to make this happen. Why? Because estimates are being developed now, and I need to know what it is so that we can put it in the estimates and say, here, Prime Minister, here's what we need. Here's why we need it.
Meanwhile, Ms. Husbands is advising education stakeholders there's much work to be done to get the accreditation process completed.
So we need a skilled workforce, knowledgeable, innovative, confident, hardworking, good team players, flexible culturally, and focused. That is the goal. That is where we have to go. So it means that we have, go forward for me, so much to do and so little time. Because accreditation comes in the midst of a very busy program. Y'all have a lot to do. I'm conscious of it. I feel for you. And at the same time, I can't feel for you because I got to get you on track with this accreditation process so that we can arrive at that marriage that will allow us to participate in that new environment.
Investigations continue into a breach at the Barbados Revenue Authority's vehicle registration online portal. That hack resulted in the personal information of some Barbadians being placed online for sale. The BRA says it's looking into the matter, and Minister of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology, Marcia Cadell, says her ministry is aware of the data breach. This is not the first time a government entity has had to deal with a cyber incident, but the scale of it, as reported by online sources, has caused some concern. Joining us tonight to discuss this issue is cybersecurity expert Edward Millington. Good evening to you, Mr. Millington. Online sources are claiming that hackers have large amounts of uncompressed data, which include full names, email addresses, phone numbers, and passport numbers, among other things. Should we be worried?
Yes, I believe over a period of time for the individuals that are going to be affected and also going to be notified over the next coming months and possibly years, and not only individuals but also for businesses. As we all know, we tend to be attacked by phishing emails and directed cybersecurity threats to get into a company, to also get into our accounts and so forth. So it's something that we as individuals have to be aware over the next couple of days, weeks and months, even for within a year or a few years.
Now, in situations like this, how do you think local authorities should respond?
So far, I think it has been fairly reasonable. There's always a process to review the information, to analyze, and to determine if the perpetrator, or in this case the cyber criminal or actor, is really the true person or if it was a group. So communication, I think, is really of key. There should be updates, maybe at least twice a day, depending on how critical the particular threat is. And also continue efforts within BRA and so forth. So there should be a collective issue then.
Okay,
between
now,
BRA and also government.
Does Barbados have the requisite systems and skills in place to thwart these types of cyber situations?
Yes, and obviously we know within the banking industry, those exist and some other entities. But as you may be aware from threat intelligence reports and so forth, public service, professional services, some non-banking institutions, schools and so forth, do not really have the necessary skills and resources, not only on the hardware and software side, but also the human capital to help prevent and mitigate a lot of these threats.
Going forward, what can we do as individuals to reduce the impact of these types of cyber acts?
Well, individuals, that is a very broad question. Let's look at us within a company. We have the necessary training and so forth to be able to identify when something is particularly wrong, be vigilant on the internet, on forums and so forth. As individuals that do not have control in situations like this here, is to continue to monitor any emails that come towards us, any forms of calls, anything that is not right within our general operation or daily operations per day, and to report those issues to the authorities, regardless if it's banking, it could be BRA, the police, etc.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Mr. Millington.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Coming up, the spotlight is on the orange economy.
From the heart of Barbados, we are your 2024 St. Thomas Parish Ambassadors. Are you aware of the Child Protection Bill of Barbados?
The Child Protection Bill focuses on the best interests of all children in Barbados, with particular attention to those who are most vulnerable.
Furthermore, it emphasizes the importance of proper care for children under 12.
Remember, if a child is left unsupervised for an extended period, it can be considered an offense and lead to legal consequences such as fines or even imprisonment, as it puts the child at risk.
By prioritizing the well-being of all children and holding adults accountable, the Child Protection Bill builds a safety net for Barbados' most precious gems. Let's all protect the children of Barbados, the gems of our nation.
The orange economy is set to play a pivotal role in Barbados' development, and stakeholders are being urged to use their skill set and cultural identity to broaden the Barbadian economy as the sector continues to grow globally. Rachel Agard attended the second sectoral consultation on the development of the orange economy in Barbados and filed this report.
Year alone, the orange economy contributed US $985 billion globally. This is according to Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, Senator Chad Blackman, who is urging stakeholders to reimagine their respective spaces to create a new sector in the country to match or rival tourism or international business.
And the question therefore becomes, how can Barbados, I'm not even talking the region yet, how can Barbados, as Steffi would say, plug into that? Because why? When there's a global sector of which we are a part of, and we have specialization and expertise in a number of areas, the question therefore becomes, how can we tap into it so that that revenue or that money can also come into Barbados? So we're creating our content here and contributing to that figure, but equally, I also want to use this as a challenge that our creative sector can also place themselves in a way that they can tap into the global market of the cultural industries and the orange economy so that we also have significant inward flows into Barbados.
The minister also urges creatives to use their platforms to produce a narrative of change around the world that's not only modern, but also Bajan.
Government is committed to ensuring that this is built out. But it's not only government alone. Legislation, of course, will serve as a framework and as an incentive. But the sector now has to be so imaginative and robust that it allows now for you to be saying, hey, here we are, here are the results, and this is where we need to go.
Executive Director of BCSI, Michelle Smith-Mears, says they are working on refining the legislative and business facilitation frameworks that empower businesses to thrive.
So that as an industry, we can have a seat at the decision-making table to influence policy that directly impacts on our ability to do business. And this sounds like a utopia, but it's not. We have to turn the page and stop doing what we've always been doing and getting what we've always gotten. We have to have those hard conversations and deal with the elephant that is in the room. And we have to stop being offended when people don't agree with what we say and be willing to change.
And the BCSI and the Caribbean Institute of Management Consultants have signed a memorandum of understanding that will help micro, small, and medium enterprises, like those in the orange economy, better poised to export their products and services. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
The fourth shipment of local black belly sheep have arrived in Guyana. The animals will be placed in quarantine before distribution to local farmers. I spoke with the consultant for the program. The fourth shipment under the Barbados Black Belly Sheep program with Guyana left the island this weekend for the South American nation. There were about 295 animals on board initially, but a ewe gave birth, bringing the number on board to 296. Consultant to the program, Dr. Leroy McLean, tells CBC News this now brings the number of sheep sent to Guyana to 1,003. When asked about the impact of the shipments on local stock, he says this in no way depletes it because there are more than enough left for local consumption. The exported sheep are being sent to farmers for breeding purposes, so they will not be slaughtered. The latest shipment is headed to Region 5 Berbice, where over 500 registered farmers have an interest in the program. However, there will be a selection process to determine how many they get. The criteria ranges from accommodation, farming practices and experience, but they're also targeting women and young people. The sheep were quarantined before they left Barbados and will be placed in a similar environment for a month now they have landed. Dr. McLean says there has been no mortality whatsoever in the program. One livestock officer remains in Guyana to help with the process. Turning our attention now to some good news now for fish lovers. There are reports jacks are plentiful in the market. Fisherman and boat owner Jason Ford says this catch is one of the biggest he's seen for a while. He caught 6 bins of jacks over a 2-day period, and they're now available both in the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex and the Paynes Bay Fish Market.
Yes, I don't know. And normally cats and jacks don't roam the hurricane time. And normally jack time. Once in North CB, you normally catch some jacks. But this is time now you normally catch some jacks from now till November. You will catch a few jacks will coming in for the season.
Green technology must be seen as a cornerstone for the future of the island's economy. This was one of the points highlighted at Caribbean Youth Day, celebrated at the Ministry of Youth Barbados Youth Green Tech Expo at the Barbados Hilton. Climate change is high on the agenda of the Division of Youth Affairs, as it plays its part to help with Barbados's green energy policy. Director Cleviston Hunt told the students attending the Green Expo that the current technological revolution is evidence that green technology will play a vital role in economic growth.
Technology will control the means of production in the country. And indeed, we only have to look at what is in the news currently in relation to the issue in the United States with the longshoremen and the potential impact and disruption that will have for Caribbean economies if those issues are not resolved. And at the back of those issues, one of them has to do with technology and the advancements of technology and the fact that traditional jobs will become obsolete and that technology will replace a number of the jobs that we are currently engaged in.
Ashley Lashley, a global climate change advocate for the youth, encouraged them on Caribbean Youth Day to get involved.
We're really here to celebrate the power of young minds to drive change and shape a greener future for our region and our country, Barbados. As we know, we are facing some big challenges, but guess what? We the youth, are the ones who can really flip the script and make a difference.
The event had a number of exhibitors in various areas of green energy, but it also served to reward those who were part of the 2024 National Summer Camp Sustainability Project. Principal Youth Development Officer Andrea Titus says there was a climate change mitigation challenge and they were rewarding the top projects at the various camps.
Over the past 5 weeks, 8 camps took part in this exciting and educational journey. Our campers enthusiastically embraced the challenge, working together to create innovative and impactful solutions for climate change mitigation in their spaces. They demonstrated not only a working awareness of the environment, but also the creativity and teamwork that will be essential for building a sustainable future.
Deacons placed second, while West Terrace caught third and first in the area of innovation and impact.
St. Philip, loud and proud, we are your 2024 Parish Ambassadors.
Did you know about Barbados' Child Protection Bill?
The Child Protection Bill establishes procedures for a situation where a child leaves or is taken from a foster home or child care center.
To ensure a safe return of the child, authorities can request a court order. This prompts an investigation into why they left and their placement in a secure location during the process.
Once the investigation is complete, the child's future placement will be decided on.
The Child Protection Bill is essential for providing all children with a safe environment and a promising future filled with hope and opportunities.
Let's all protect the children of Barbados, the gems of our nation.
It's sports time now with Damian Best. What's the action tonight?
Well, good evening to you, Wendy. Good evening to our viewers and listeners. Of course, the action is CPL, and it is underway in the first playoff match between the two top teams in the 2024 Republic Bank CPL at Providence, host Ghana Amazon Warriors and St. Lucia Kings. The winner will advance directly to the final, while the loser will play against the Barbados Royals in the second qualifier on Friday. Well, the Kings have won the toss and opted to bat, reaching 69 without loss moments ago after 6 overs. The game is currently live on MCTV Sports Match Channel 310, while it will be tape delayed on CBC TV after NewsNight. Meanwhile, an unfortunate floodlit failure at the National Stadium in Providence, Ghana, resulted in a reduced eliminator match between Barbados Royals and Trinbago Knight Riders last night. Winning the toss and batting, Knight Riders were 168 for 3 after 19.1 overs when 3 of the light towers stopped working, eventually bringing a premature end to their innings. Nicholas Puran at that stage was on 91. That included 6 fours and 5 sixes. Well, after an hour and 49 minutes were lost, officials got all the towers fixed, and the Duckworth-Lewis Stern equation had the Royals requiring 60 runs off 5 overs. Player of the match, David Miller, led the charge for the Royals, top scoring with 50 not out of 17 deliveries. That included 3 fours and 5 sixes, as the Royals made 64 for 1 of 4.2 overs to win by 9 wickets via the DLS method. Well, the Royals will move on to that second qualifier while it's the end of the road for TKR. The stage is set for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2024. The tournament bowls off tomorrow in the United Arab Emirates with a doubleheader as Bangladesh take on debutant Scotland, and Sri Lanka versus Pakistan is the second fixture. During today's roundtable discussion with the captains, Wendy skipper Hayley Matthews said her squad is eager to get off to a winning start and build momentum. The Windies are set to battle South Africa in Group B on Friday, starting at 6 a.m. Barbados time. Well, live coverage of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup will be on MCTV's ESPN channels. That is the first half in sports. Wendy, it's back over to you. I'll see you a bit later on.
Yes, so I will see you then, Damien. Well, we'll have a break and then we'll return with business.
We are your voice, the 2024 Parish Ambassadors of St. Peter.
Did you know that Barbados has a child protection bill?
The Child Protection Bill acknowledges the connection between child abuse, neglect, and mental health issues amongst our youth.
The bill gives support through mental health counseling to children who have experienced trauma or are living in challenging circumstances.
By addressing the emotional impact of abuse, we can assist children in healing and building confidence, giving them a voice to speak up and speak out. Let's all protect the children of Barbados, the gems of our nation.
In tonight's business report, Barbados is getting help from Guyana in its efforts to address a milk shortage. It comes with the launch of Savannah Milk, which was introduced during a media briefing at the Tri-Trade Center, Pelican Village, with Special Envoy to Guyana and Suriname, Althea Wiggins, saying it has come out of the St. Barnabas Accord signed between Guyana and Suriname and Barbados earlier this year. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Saying the bilateral agreements are working well, the Special Envoy says it's an initiative that will help ease the milk shortage in Barbados.
The Savannah milk comes in the full cream, and you have the chocolate, the vanilla, and you have the low fat, which is rich and creamy, and you have it again in the various chocolate and vanilla flavors. So hopefully we would be able to satisfy the market to a certain extent until those cows that we are importing, I believe from Canada, can come into Barbados, where we would be able once again, along with the Pine Hill Dairy, to be able to produce our own supply of milk.
Making reference to the current strike at ports in the United States, Ms. Wiggins says the bilateral agreements in the Caribbean are important.
We are doing a whole lot with Guyana, and as I said, under the St. Barnabas Accord, I am taking a delegation of 15 entrepreneurs to Guyana, okay, to look for business just as Go Invest do here. I'm doing that again next month. So these are things that we do, but we go under the radar. Gavin said, "Man, we gotta get in the media more." It's just, to be honest with you, I just like to do my work quietly.
Managing Director of Grady Marketing Incorporated, Perry Bannister, says the new product can be found at 4 outlets and will soon be available island-wide.
It's one of our Caricon neighbors. It's a great product, a great price, and you never can tell when there'll be a shortfall.
Again, that's right.
And in these days, you cannot stand up on one foot.
That's right.
You need to always have a backup.
The officials also note much work continues with bilateral agreements and the St. Barnabas Accord. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
The presence of a reinsurance company in Barbados could open a new chapter for the industry. The comment from President of the Insurance Association of Barbados, Randy Graham, as Active Capital Reinsurance Limited, or Active, reopened operations in Barbados last month. The top insurance official tells the Business Report a number of similar companies are registered locally, but none have ever opened an office.
What we don't normally see is companies, investing in staff here, in infrastructure here. There are 1 or 2 around that would have small offices, but if this is a company that is actually setting up here with infrastructure, hiring Barbadians, hiring underwriters, and we're going to be making decisions and issuing reinsurance out of Barbados, and that could be proved to be successful, then I would hope more will follow, right? Bermuda, for example, has a big reinsurance market of domestic carriers who pretty much carry the economy there, right? So if we get big reinsurance companies coming to Barbados to set up, have staff, employ people in Barbados, make decisions from Barbados, it could be a valuable boost to our economy. So I think it's something that we would want to encourage.
Here's how the stocks traded locally and regionally today.
In Jamaica, Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited, with 3,021,596 units, was the volume leader, followed by Sagicor Select Funds Limited, Manufacturing and Distribution, and Victon Wind Farm Limited, Ordinary Shares. In Trinidad and Tobago, Massey Holdings Limited was the volume leader, with 115,463 shares changing hands, for a value of Trinidad and Tobago $405,677.01, followed by Agostini Limited. And here in Barbados, Epley Caribbean Property Fund Value Fund was the volume leader, trading 54,000 shares at Barbados 50 cents each. They were followed by Goddard Enterprises Limited and Epley Caribbean Property Fund Development Fund.
And that's it for tonight's business. We'll take a break and be back with the weather.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Morning Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morningbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
And we say good evening to Carrie Ann O'Neill. What's it going to be like? Any sunny skies in the morning?
That's right, Wendy. We can expect sunny skies tomorrow morning, but thereafter we are expecting those localized showers. Good evening to you and good evening, everyone. Now, a trough system associated with Kirk generated cloudy skies along with showers and thunderstorms here in Barbados today. As a result, we had a flash flood watch upgraded to a warning and a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for us here in Barbados. Meanwhile, Kirk is at expected to become a major hurricane, and we also have tropical depression number 13 to the east of the region. The maximum temperature today was 32 degrees Celsius, the minimum 25 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 25 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity just around 91%, and those winds are coming in from the north-northwest. We take a look now at some atmospheric conditions across the region, where the temperatures are ranging from 26 to 30 degrees Celsius. The humidity shows moisture is building here in Barbados, also over there in Trinidad, and the winds, they are generally light across the region. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where we do have Hurricane Kirk. The system is moving towards the northwest, maximum sustained winds now at 90 miles per hour. It is located just around 1,165 miles to the east-northeast of the Lesser Antilles. It is expected to become a major hurricane. There is also tropical depression number 13. This system located at 10 degrees north, 29 degrees west. It is moving towards the west, maximum sustained winds 35 miles per hour. We'll continue to track those two systems. That's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Morning Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morningbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 5:47 and will set at 5:47. The first high tide is expected at 11 minutes after 4 in the early morning, the first low at 9:49 a.m. Now those seas, they are smooth to moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2 meters. The winds, they are light and variable. Tonight in Barbados, we are expecting a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with some showers. And over the next 3 days, light winds along with strong daytime heating will maintain cloudy skies along with showers and the possibility of some isolated thunderstorms, especially over some central and southern areas.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Morning Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morningbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
And we say welcome back to Day Be It Best.
Well, the drivers and bikers will be back in action here in Barbados on October 20th when the Barbados Association of Dragsters and Drifters hosts Drag Rivals Round 4 at Bushy Park. And some football news, John Duran came off the bench to give Aston Villa a magnificent 1-0 victory over Bayern Munich in the Champions League today at Villa Park. And finally, as teams start to cement their place in the round of 16, another of the younger squads has done just that. It's time for Let's Play Ball.
Let's play ball. Here's a look at the teams gearing up to do battle in the inaugural Prime Minister's Cup. What looked like fun and sport was actually a serious training session, as the boys from Kickstart Rush are gearing up for the next phase of the Prime Minister's Cup, the round of 16. And one of the men ensuring they're ready is assistant coach Chad Bynum.
We're working on some longer passes in terms of the technique. We want to be able to punch that ball into our players, and that's what we're working on today. We're just trying to encourage more attendance at training and more work ethic at training. Along with the communication, and those things will mesh everything together for us. For our young team, we just need to come out here and work hard. We need to follow the coaches' plans, the coaching team's plans and ideas, and execute on the game day. I think that we're capable of beating anybody once we do those things.
Leading the charge on the field is Captain Shaquille Lane, and he boasts of having a strong unit with some national players in the side.
We're a great group, a great team. For me, my expectation for the team is just to give 100% all the time. They were selected to represent Kickstart Rush, which means that they're of a particular quality, and we hold them to a particular standard. So every time we go up there, we expect nothing but 100% from the team. So that's just me from the captain, yeah.
On the roster next for Kickstart Rush is Deacons in that crucial round of 16 match, and both Coach Bino and Captain Lane assures that they're up to the task.
Deacons is a very strong team, especially on the outfields. Hopefully, we'll be able to exploit them in the spaces. I say we have a good chance.
We intend to play Kickstart Rush football. We intend to show the people what we can do, like we did when we first went into the Premier League. Deacons is going to be a tough challenge as usual, but we intend to come out and play pretty and good and nice football.
So Kickstart Rush is one of those teams one step closer to Prime Minister's Cup glory. That was Let's Play Ball. We just got some insight into the teams gearing up for the inaugural Prime Minister's Cup.
And that's my time for sports tonight. Wendy, it's back over to you.
Thank you so much, Damien. We'll return after the break.
St. Philip, loud and proud. We are your 2024 Parish Ambassadors.
Did you know about Barbados' Child Protection Bill?
The Child Protection Bill establishes procedures for a situation where a child leaves or is taken from a foster home or child care center.
To ensure a safe return of the child, authorities can request a court order. This prompts an investigation into why they left and their placement in a secure location during the process.
Once the investigation is complete, the child's future placement will be decided on.
The Child Protection Bill is essential for providing all children with a safe environment and a promising future filled with hope and opportunities.
Let's all protect the children of Barbados, the gems of our nation.
Well, that's our news. Thanks for viewing. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.